We are looking at how the church has been affected by the COVID-19. And you realize that many people today are yet to resume in-person church attendance. Some of them are okay with attending church from home, and it might take a long while before they can get back into the previous order of doing things. But as that is happening, we have a real new world order, which is working towards the coming of the Antichrist, which is preparing the entire world into a newness, which is written in Daniel 7, verse 25. You know, talking about changing of times and seasons, because the devil is very eager to rule this world, and he wants to do it through systems and changing the systems of the world so that they may favor his cause. It is one of his key things. And one of the organizations that are associated with the devil, some people say it is because some people misunderstand them. Others say it is what it is Freemason. You know, Freemason in Kenya here is still a very secret society. It is very secretive. One time their leader came on TV and spoke and said that it's not a secret society, but it's a society full of secrets. Whatever that means, but of course it's also revealing something. And you know, of course, when you go to other nations, we went to the UK. Of course, there are so many grand halls in UK, and they display them. Not like here. Here I know there's one here, there's one in Mombasa somewhere, and there are several other halls around. And if you walk towards the ferry in Mombasa, from that roundabout, is it Baricho? Of course, I can't remember. It's a while since I was in Mombasa, in that part of Mombasa. But I know as you move towards the ferry on your left, you see some place that there's a door that doesn't seem to be used oftenly. There's a building there that seems to be deserted from that end, but on the other side is where the entrance is, and it is written, Freemason Hall. In Nairobi here, they are just there near Serena, near Uhuru Park. You can find them there. And of course, many people, when you mention Freemason, they have a lot of things that they think about. Let me tell you one of the reasons why they allowed this story to go, out, that they have, they didn't pay some land rates and all that. The reason they allow such a story to go out is for publicity. For publicity, because publicity is publicity. Whether positive or negative, people are now talking about, some people are saying, hata mashetani, pia wako broke. Ni mastori tu yenye watu wanayaongea sana. But the secretive world of Freemason, came back to the spotlight on Wednesday, following a dramatic raid by Nairobi County officials on the iconic Freemasons Hall on Nyerere Road. The operation, led by LCC Susan Silantoi, was part of a broader campaign targeting property tax defaulters, with the Grand Lodge of East Africa accused of owing 19 million Kenya shillings in unpaid land rates. That's actually unheard of, because they pride themselves as the people who have all the money, and their bait, of catching younger people is said to be money. Sometimes there are so many people that pretend to be to belong to Freemason, but they are just normal conmen who pretend to be, connected to Freemason, and they want to initiate, especially young, unsuspecting people into Freemason. Of course, you know that many people talk about devil worshipping, associating it with Freemason. It is an allegation that is in public domain. The move sparked renewed public interest and speculation about the centuries-old organization, long shrouded in secrecy and misunderstood by many people, or actually understood by many people in their own way of understanding. And it is known for its closed door rituals, of course, because it is very secretive. It has many symbolic ceremonies and mysterious reputation. It has been associated with devil worship and supernatural practices by many people. The Freemason Hall, a prominent architectural landmark in Nairobi, serves as both a spiritual and administrative headquarters for local Freemasons. Its presence has inspired endless questions. Who are Freemasons? Who do they believe in? And why do so many Kenyans view the organization with suspicion? While the veil of secrecy remains, efforts by Freemasonry leaders like the late Sir Jayatilal Keshavi Chande have helped shed light on the group's guiding philosophy. This man from Tanzania is the one who came first on Kenyan television to talk about Freemason, in an open way. It had never been spoken about in such an open way in Kenya before, because apart from the inquiry that was set up by President Moi, the late President Moi, there had been, just rumors. And but if you have ever interacted with some of the people that claim to be part of Freemasonry, you cannot, fail to have heard about some of the very secretive rituals where people sacrifice human sacrifices. And, it is something that, some of the people that have come out to talk, they associate with Freemasonry, and of course they denied, and they so it may not be easy to know the truth, because very many prominent people in Kenya here have been associated with Freemasonry. Many of them secretly, but some of them, like the former MP for Kabete, who declared himself to be, publicly to be Freemason. They do not hide their identity, as they used to before. But Freemasonry seeks, what they claim is they seek to develop a man's character. But every religion has two levels of educating the public. There is what can be taught, the public. It is just a general knowledge, and then there is a reality that is preserved for the people that get into the inner circle. Some of them get to know the truth when it is too late. For example, if you go to a witch doctor and the witch doctor talks about bring me a chicken, sometimes you may think it's just a chicken, but there is a coded understanding behind that chicken. It actually means that you are actually giving access to a child within the family. When the witch doctor says bring me a goat, is actually saying give me access to a teenager or a young person, a young person. When they talk about a calf, is a young adult. When they talk about a real cow, it is a handout. And they may actually be asking you to offer them to the demons as a sacrifice for them to die. But when they die, you cannot associate it with what the witch doctor asked you for. And so some of these things happen. And that's why you hear so many weird stories about, Freemason, devil worshipping, which doctors experience. People have gone into the sea and, found buildings under the sea and life, demonic life under the sea. When you listen to their stories, others have actually traveled in the sky above, demonically, and they found life up there. So it is not just this physical life you see here. There is more than meets there. There's a building in Malindi where people used to enter, and once they get in there, they you think you are getting into a building, but the moment you get in there, straight away you find yourself in under the sea with life going on. Some people that you thought they were dead here, you find them there. And these stories, many people think they are just part of superstition, but it is not. But the Freemasons hit headlines this week because of that default on payment of land rates in to the city county of Nairobi. Maybe we can. I was telling you, when we went to the UK, we found one grand hall in a town called Hansford. I don't know why they call it Hansford, because they write it like Hanford, and it is in a very conspicuous place at a corner. It's a corner building. You can see it from either side. It's and it is written, And when we asked our host there, why is it so? We thought it is actually supposed to be a very hidden thing. We realized that there are so many followers of Freemason, and they publicly confess so. And so here it is a little bit difficult because it is still very secretive here. And of course, we don't, we have very scanty information about it. And so we don't subscribe to whatever it is that they believe in, because we understand that any religion that does not believe in Jesus Christ as the only way, to the Father, then it is false. So it doesn't matter whether it's Freemason or any other, as long as it is not submitted to the belief that Jesus Christ is the only way to the Father, and there is no other way to the Father, then it is out like any other religion of whichever nature.